Guys, it is patch 6.15, but we are looking down the barrel to the future. I recently put out a video going over when future patches, when I think they'll be, based on kind of counting out the weeks, looking at the roadmap, and just kind of helping anybody who has either forgotten or has never really noticed that the patches follow a very specific pattern before, because maybe that's their first expansion, in which case, how exciting. So I want to talk about some of the upcoming news. And first of all, in a recent video with, I think with Brian, I said that the free login campaign, I was afraid I'd missed it because I wanted to play Crystalline Conflict with my brothers who no longer play Final Fantasy XIV. I thought this would be a fun thing for them to jump in and try. And it's actually still going on through June 30th. It's a free 96 hours. I don't know why I thought it had ended. So I definitely wanted to cover that and say, like, if you guys have a friend that maybe wants to come try out the game again, they can do that. There are some, like, limitations on, I think, what they have access to. But this will give you a reasonable way to come back in. I believe it would let him at least come in and try Crystalline Conflict, which would be one of my brothers. That would be the thing that would most likely bring him back. From there, we have a live letter on July 1st. July 1st. This will be the first of 2 live letters going into patch 6.2. I am guessing that the live letter for, I think it's going to be August 9th for the patch, which puts the live letter maybe like July 29th for part 2, but we'll see. That's just kind of me storing those dates roughly in my head. I could be off by a little bit there. They are still excited about their lend you their ears 360-degree audio. They've worked with some different streamers for sponsorships. If you want to ask questions about that, go reach out to any of those people. And last up, it is time for Data Center expansion. 6.18 is here. It is time for Data Center Visit. And so this is that July patch we've all been waiting for. This will be here July 5th. It's actually been neatly summed up in writing by our very own Chris Laverne here, a mod in this community. And so if you want to see that, but basically, TLDR, the Japanese data center had too many worlds per data center. You had 10, 11, and 11. And what that means is that when people went to log in, it was too many characters trying to log into the same data center because the data center shares one login queue. And so as a result, you end up with a clog right there. So they're actually moving to 4 data centers, and they're just going to redistribute their 32 worlds to 8, 8, 8, and 8, which I think will be a lot cleaner for them. As we move up to the EU data center, however, we had an opposite problem where there wasn't enough worlds to log into. So we are going to be adding 2 new worlds to Chaos and 2 new worlds to Light. Keep in mind, that does come with new housing. So hopefully those people will be very excited by that. And that's going to be a continuing process for EU as they try to secure better EU server hardware available. And then NA is slated later. So don't worry. Everybody's coming out ahead in this. Oceanic got a new data center already. Everybody else is coming out ahead. The game is just growing. This is all wonderful news. And then the last piece of news is Crystalline Conflict. Crystalline Conflict is going to be drawing to a close with patch 6.18, but this is not your series reward. So for anybody that hasn't unlocked their Lich King armor, and they still want to push through that, the series is not over. But this is the end of that Crystalline Conflict season. So players will get their overall rewards for anybody that's gone up and ranked up that high. For any of you that keep meaning to get to this is a good reminder to do so. The beginning of a season, historically, has always been a really fun time to be in PvP. In theory, they were trying to get Rival Wings back for 6.2, so in general, this should be an expansion where we regularly get these little spikes. So as we see all of the servers going to 8 worlds per server, that seems to be the ideal number. EU going up to 8, JP going down to 8. We should have hopefully more server stability moving forward, and as we add new data centers and we scale those up to 8, it's gonna be great.
Guys, what is the deal with Less Than Vendor?
What's the deal with Less Than Vendor? So thanks for gifting a sub to Distinct here. Thanks for everybody that hangs out over on Twitch. We're doing lore weeks every other week. We're doing lots of streams in between. I'm approaching Omni 90. I'm doing my first anima weapon all the way through. There's lots of exciting things, so I do want to say thank you to everybody that hangs out, especially Pharma Girl and Cryptionics, who have given an incredible amount of support over the last several months, and so I want to say thank you to them. And other than that, guys, that's your news. Nice and short, to the point. I will see you guys July 1st. Remember, that will be only in Japanese, so you'll need to use the live translation from the Reddit community, who does an amazing job. Or you need to come out and hang out in one of our, one of the streams like ours, but not limited to ours, that is reading that translation and then using the in-between time while they're speaking Japanese to maybe offer some context and all of that. We'll have a good time hanging out. It is a very reasonable time of day. That live letter, 4 a.m. PDT, is so easy. So easy. I'm up at that time of day anyway. So much easier for those of us in North America to catch this one. It's going to be a great time to be in Final Fantasy. Today is the day that Asmongold is coming back to try it. Today's the day that I cap my Reaper. So as we look at this, look at all these 90s. I'm getting down to the home stretch. Very, very excited. So thank you guys for everybody that comes and hangs out. And I've got lots of videos coming your way, so be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time or the time after or whatever, kinda.